Ever feel like you're at the bottom of this like huge E-wall and you're thinking, how on earth am I going to climb this thing?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it feels like for businesses wanting to partner with Saudi Aramco. It's a giant.
It's true. The potential is massive.
It is.
But so is that whole process.
And that's what today's deep dive is all about. We're diving into this guide from Cybersafe Technology.
Okay.
And they break down a huge part of that climb, becoming an approved vendor.
Right. Which is no easy feat.
Not at all. So Saudi Aramco, they don't mess around. You need what they call a vendor ID.
Yeah, it's like your golden ticket.
Okay, so Willy Wonka, but for like oil and gas?
Yeah, something like that.
You got to prove you're legit.
That'd be legit. But it's also about security, cybersecurity. That's like paramount.
Yeah.
Right? In their world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where this thing called the Cybersecurity Compliance Certificate comes in.
Okay.
Or CCC. And it's basically, you're showing them, look, we've got top-notch security here. Okay?
It's not just any old padlock. Like, you got to have the best of the best.
Exactly.
Makes sense. One data breach could be catastrophic.
Oh, absolutely.
But I gotta say, all of this just sounds, well, really intimidating. Like, trying to navigate a foreign country without speaking the language?
Yeah, and that's a great way to put it because CyberSafe Technology, they basically want to be your translator and guide
Okay.
in this whole process.
Yeah.
They've got this, well, they call it a comprehensive service package.
Just like, be honest, that could mean anything.
It could.
What does that actually do for a business?
Okay, imagine you're prepping for this massive presentation, right?
Right.
And this isn't just any presentation. This is like make or break for your company. CyberSafe Technology is like having, I don't know, a bunch of expert consultants, and they're prepping you not just on the content, but how to actually deliver it to Saudi Aramco. They're making sure you're speaking the right language.
I see. So from day one, you're not just trying to wing it. They're making sure you check all the boxes.
Way beyond checking boxes.
Yeah.
It's more about strategy.
Uh-huh.
What makes a business stand out to Saudi Aramco?
Right, because they want to know you're serious. You're not just dipping your toes in.
Exactly.
So you could have a great product, a great service, but if you can't convince them, you can actually deliver consistently, securely.
And that's where this all starts, right? They do this deep dive on your business, looking at your registration, financials, past projects, certifications, all of it.
So they really leave no stone unturned.
No, they don't. And this is where I think a lot of businesses, they kind of falter. They don't realize how much scrutiny there is.
Yeah, they underestimate
They do.
the level of detail.
Saudi Aramco wants to know you're in it to win it.
Okay, so it's not enough to just, like, have your stuff together.
Yeah.
You have to prove it. And how do you prove it?
Documentation. And it's got to be meticulous.
Okay.
CyberSafe Technology will help you gather, organize, they'll format everything.
It sounds exhausting.
It can be, because Saudi Aramco has incredibly high standards.
Yeah, I bet.
And that can be the difference between getting approved or rejected.
Wow, yeah. It's like, at this point, I'm realizing you really need a guide for this.
Oh, for sure.
It's like trying to put together, I don't know, some crazy IKEA furniture.
Right.
But the stakes are way higher than a wonky bookcase.
Absolutely.
Okay, so CyberSafe Technology, they're like your paperwork wranglers.
Right.
But where does the cybersecurity assessment fit into all of this? We talked about it earlier a bit.
Yeah.
But what are they actually looking at? Is it like a digital inspection or?
It's kind of like an inspection, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of checking for, like, leaky faucets and stuff,
Right.
they're looking for vulnerabilities. In your network security, data protection, how do you respond to incidents?
Oh, okay.
All those things that could put sensitive information at risk.
So it's like that, you know, that scene in a spy movie where they're trying to like break into the mainframe?
Yeah.
But CyberSafe Technology, they're the good guys in this scenario.
Exactly. They're like simulating threats.
Yeah.
So they can see how tough your defenses really are.
I see. So it's not just checking off boxes. It's like a real world test.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. Saudi Aramco, we're talking about massive amounts of data.
Right.
Critical infrastructure. Their standards are, well, they're incredibly high.
They have to be. I mean,
They do.
one weak link could be disastrous. Not just for them, but for everyone.
Absolutely. For the global economy.
Exactly. Okay, so CyberSafe, they don't just point out the flaws, right?
No. They go deeper than that. They do this thing called a gap analysis.
Okay, so what's that?
So they're identifying what you're doing well,
Okay,
but more importantly, where you fall short.
I see. So you know what to improve.
Exactly. Compared to Saudi Aramco's, well, their gold standard.
So it's not just pass or fail. It's about understanding where you stand, really. And then what? They give you a to-do list and just like, good luck.
No. They give you concrete recommendations
Oh, okay.
on how to actually address each of those vulnerabilities. And they often go above and beyond just basic compliance.
Like what? Give me an example.
Sure, they might recommend multi-factor authentication,
Right.
strengthening your data encryption, or even cybersecurity training for all your employees.
Oh, so it's really comprehensive.
It is.
It sounds like they're setting you up for success in the long run.
Yeah.
Not just trying to get you through the door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because Saudi Aramco, they're not just looking for any vendor, right?
Right.
They want partners.
Yeah.
Partners they can really trust.
It's a relationship, not just a transaction. Okay, so let's say a business. They've aced everything.
Okay.
Their paperwork is perfect. They're ready to go. What's next? How do they officially become a vendor?
All right, so this is where it gets real. CyberSafe guides you through registration on the Saudi Aramco vendor portal.
Okay.
Think of it like the gateway to their entire supply chain.
I bet that portal is like a well-oiled machine.
It is, no pun intended.
Right.
It's all about precision, accuracy. You got to really showcase what you can do, and it's got to align perfectly with what Aramco needs.
So CyberSafe helps you put your best foot forward, basically.
Exactly. They make sure your profile's top-notch,
Yeah.
that it highlights your expertise and experience in a way that resonates with Aramco's procurement teams.
So it's not just about getting your name on the list. It's about, like, strategic positioning
Yes.
within a very specific world.
It's a competitive landscape.
It is. So the application's in.
Yep.
And then what? You just wait?
Well, there's some waiting, yeah, but CyberSafe doesn't disappear.
Okay.
They're like your advocate behind the scenes.
I see.
They're answering any questions Saudi Aramco might have.
So they're making sure everything goes smoothly.
Exactly. And that kind of proactive communication, it's so valuable, especially with a company as large and as complex as Aramco.
So they're like a cultural liaison, too.
That's a good way to put it.
It's just making sure everybody's on the same page.
They understand the nuances of Aramco's culture, their expectations.
Which you might not get if you're coming in from outside.
Exactly. It can be really helpful for businesses that aren't familiar with all of that.
So they're really, like, managing the whole process.
Yeah.
Making sure that your business is presented in the best light.
Yeah, it's like having, I don't know, a diplomat in your corner.
Right.
Smoothing things over.
Making sure there are no misunderstandings.
Building that trust, it's important.
Okay, so after all that, the paperwork, the waiting, the anticipation.
Right.
Saudi Aramco says, yes,
Okay.
you're officially a vendor.
All right.
What happens then? Is there, like, confetti, or is it a little more low-key?
Probably no confetti cannons,
Okay.
but I'm sure it feels like a pretty big celebration because you get your vendor ID,
Right.
and that's it. That's your key.
The keys to the kingdom.
There you go.
But in this case, the kingdom is,
A little different.
slightly bigger than a castle.
Yeah, one of the biggest, most influential companies around.
Exactly. And what I find interesting is that CyberSafe technology, they don't just disappear at this point.
No. This is important.
They don't drop you off at the palace gates and say good luck.
Right.
So what does this continued support look like?
Well, think about it. The digital world, especially cybersecurity, it's always changing, right?
Always.
New threats pop up every day. Regulations change. What's considered best practice constantly evolves.
So you have to stay ahead of the curve.
Yes. And that's what they help you do. CyberSafe provides this ongoing support, making sure that you're always in line with Saudi Aramco's security protocols, which, like we said, those are very, very high.
So it's not just about getting in.
No.
It's about staying there and thriving.
Exactly. Maintaining that competitive edge.
Now I'm curious, is it just cybersecurity? Or is there more to it?
Oh, they go beyond that. They offer business development support, too.
Okay, what does that entail?
Well, that could be anything from insights on upcoming projects, helping you navigate the sometimes complicated bidding process. They might even connect you with key people.
Oh, wow. Like networking.
Yeah, within their network. So you're not just out there on your own.
They've got your back.
They do.
It's like they become a true partner.
Exactly. They're invested in your success, and that's got to be valuable for any business.
Absolutely. We've covered a lot today. It's a world that, honestly, most of us don't know much about.
It's true.
So if there's one big takeaway from all of this, what would it be?
I'd say partnering with Saudi Aramco, a company of that scale, it can seem like a huge EE challenge.
Daunting, maybe even impossible.
Right, but with the right partner, with the right guide, it becomes achievable. The challenges, they become manageable.
There's that quote, it's not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves.
I like that one.
And in this case, CyberSafe technology, they're like your Sherpa.
There you go. They give you the knowledge, the tools, the support so you can not just survive, but actually thrive.
This has been great. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
Anytime.
So for anyone listening, if you're thinking about partnering with a global powerhouse like Saudi Aramco,
Yeah.
it might seem impossible, but remember, you don't have to go it alone. Find the experts, find your Sherpa, and who knows, you might just find yourself at the top of that mountain. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.